Alright, today I'm going to give you guys a detailed look at this Threezero DLX Optimus Prime. This is based on the Last Night movie, and this is Autobot Optimus Prime. I don't know why it took me this long to purchase this guy. Usually I would purchase this DLX stuff like day one, but I don't know why I held out on this one, which is good because I was able to take advantage of this guy during the Hasbro sale. There was a warehouse sale. I think it was like 25% off, so I was ecstatic about that. Able to purchase this with 25% off, so I was very happy about it. And here's the back of the box, so let's get into it. Alright, so here's Optimus Prime outside of packaging, and as far as accessory, of course, DLX also always come with one of these base. And then we have a bunch of hands. We have a pair of relaxed hands, a pair of open palms hands, and a pair of gripping hands, and then his shield. And then we have a mouthpiece, and then we have a gauntlet piece, the side of the armor piece. For you to attach accessories to, and then there's the little blade that comes out of his forearm, and then here's the sword, and then here are a couple of attachments for the shield onto his backside, and yeah, so that's everything, and there's Optimus Prime right there. And this figure also comes with a instruction pamphlet. Always read this before you move the figure, because you might want to know how much range you could give him. So definitely look at this chart before you start messing with this figure. And let's start off with doing a closer look at the figure. I'm sure there are tons of videos out there with this guy, and I'm happy you stuck around and watched my video of my take on this Optimus Prime, the DLX Optimus Prime. And one thing I noticed is that maybe it's just me, but to me his chest looks a little too angular. It looks like it bumped right here, and then it kind of squeezed right down to here. It looks very triangle-ish, which I don't think is that way though. I think it's supposed to be a little rounder. I think it needs to be rounder or a little bit smaller. Might need to tug this section in a little bit, because it looks a little strange to me. I don't know if it's just me or not, but and another thing I noticed is that he does have a lot of silver on him. Like this whole chest section, this whole bit, even though it has a little bit of gold to break it up, but it looks like there's a lot of silver here. I don't know if that's accurate in the film. I think it is accurate, but maybe it needs a little bit of weathering, because he looks a bit too clean. Because here you can see, you can see a lot of details here, but everything looks so clean. So when you look at it from far away, you just see a big chunk of silver all right here. Almost the whole torso is silver except for these bits right here. So to me, it looks a little bit too silvery to me. But that could just be me, but yeah, to me it does look like that. So let's get a closer look at some of the other bits of Optimus Prime here. Look at that torso. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Then the legs all the way down. And rotate him to the back so you guys can see the rest of him. And this figure does have lighter features, and only for the eyes. And I have at the end of this video, I'll post some photos of him with his eyes light up, and show you. Oh yeah, battery's not in here now, but you'll be able to see what it looks like with eyes all lit up. And there's his battle mask on. And unfortunately, this figure does not come with the Nemesis Prime look. It doesn't have the half red, half blue face on here. It would have been nice if he came with that other head sculpt too. And one thing I am not a fan of is that the hand guard. The hand guard is it's a interchangeable piece for the other hands. I wish they would just attach hand guards to all these hands without being swappable, because swapping this piece out does tend to get loose. So for the most part, right now it's fine, but when you switch it out with other hands, it might get a little bit loose, and yeah, I just don't like that because it tends to fall off quite easily. So as far as articulation, let me zoom in and do individual parts. Yeah, I think it would just be better that way. So head, it's on a ball joint, and you can see he got full range. I don't think there's anything on the base of the neck. No, there's nothing around the base of the neck, but it does get hindered with this collar piece here. So you could have him turn to about that, and it's gonna get hindered by this piece here. So just to keep an eye on that. And then these pieces can move out of the way because the shoulders. This figure does have butterfly joint, so be careful. Make sure you extend these two pieces outward before you move the butterfly joint. And as for the shoulder pad, this is a this is a ball joint that's attached to it, and then I believe this piece is also on a couple of hinges. So there you go, right there, a couple of hinges there, and for the arms, and then this of course can swing, rotate, and extend outwards and such. And I believe this section can move up too. So there you go. You have a little bit of extra room to get the arms to go up even further. Right here, this whole joint right here, this piece can get his arm up all the way there. And then the torso, the chest section, can also rotate. Let me show you. So that can rotate that. So now his body can rotate even more. So you can see here, it can rotate to the side, side to side, right there. Really good. And these two pieces can move out of the way too. It has a little hinge there just to get out of the way. So when you're bending him, make sure these pieces push out a little bit before you do it. And then let us show you the elbows. Double jointed, so it gives you past 90 degrees, which is nice. And wrists on ball joint. And let me see how I would do this. Move the arms out of the way and show you guys the torso section. So let me move this out of the way. Alright, so as far as the torso, let's see, it could bend down quite a bit. Look at that. Ooh. Let's not move the legs. Let's just move the torso section, and you can see there are back panels here to cover up the joints. And yeah, so there's two sections that moves. So you can see right here, there's one right here, move this section, and then there's another section right here. So it gives you a really good range. Look at that. So really good range as far as the torso is concerned. And of course it could rotate a little bit left and right, not a whole lot. And at the bottom here, not so much though. And then the legs are a little tricky. Let's see, make sure these panels move out of the way before you move them. These panels does move out of the way. They're on hinges, and so if you want to extend out, you could do that. Then raise his legs, you could do that. Now there are two joints right here. Let's see if you can see it. No, it's kind of hard to see, but there are two joints right here, two movements here. Maybe you can see it better now. So there's one joint right there, and then there's another one that's attached to the hip section. So there are actually two of them. So when you move this, that's one. And if you want to raise his leg even further up, I would tend to move some of these things out of the way first before I do that. So let me see. Rotate it back over here. So let me move his leg out a little bit more, and then rotate up. see there are 2 joints there. Sorry, it's covered up by this piece here, but if you could see, I'll show you guys to see. There's one right there. I mean, there's, let me point it with this sword here. So this is one joint, one rotation joint right here, and this is another. There are 2 of them. That's how you could get the legs to go up that high. So this is actually a perfect pose for, I mean, perfect way for you to do a kneeling pose, because he could bend so far up, and then the knee bend could give you past 90 degrees too. Look at that. Look at how far I could bend, and then the ankle can give you that much range too. So there's a lot of range you could get out of this guy. So if you crunch him down, look at how far he could bend now. So if I move this leg up, back, and out a little bit, let me situate him on the ground. Alright, here you can see he could totally do a kneeling pose with no issues whatsoever. So I could lift this piece up, make sure that piece is out, and then twist this shoulder out a little bit, and center this arm a little bit more, and let me twist this waist a little bit. Not a whole lot. I don't think it could go a lot. It could go a little bit, but that's it. So put that down, push that leg back down, and I wish he could look up further, but he cannot. So that's how you get a kneeling pose. It's a really, really impressive kneeling pose. Look at that. Again, the only thing I wish is his head could look up even further, but here you can see how that kneeling pose is done. So great job. I'll have to pull back a little bit more just to show you guys. Okay, here. Kneeling pose. Really good as far as what this figure can do. I mean, Threezero, I expect them to be able to do something like this, and they definitely delivered. Very happy with how this figure turned out, and much. Since this one is more sturdy and is more solid, it has metal in it, and the joints are all metal joints. It helps because it feels way more solid than the premium one, the big one, the 18 inches one. That one, it's all plastic, so it feels very light and cheap in a way. I mean, it looks great, but it doesn't have the heft to it, while this one has. This one feels very solid. That's why I like this line so much, the DLX line, because everything is solid. Joints are nice and tight, and they're all metal, so it's gonna last you a while, and you're gonna be happy with it. Alright, so in order to remove this piece here, to put the shield on, you need to remove the hand guard first, right here, and then you need to remove this piece over here. This piece clamps on. Just need to remove that, and then once you remove that, you can see there's a slot right here, and that's why you want to put this piece on it, because it expose that slot. So you want to push this back on, so now you have a hole right here, and that's how you could attach the shield. But in order to attach the shield, you would need the attachment, which is this one right here. This is the attachment. You need to attach, oh no, I think this side is to here, and then that side is supposed to, no, I don't think that's it. I thought that was it. Maybe I was wrong. Okay, so this figure also comes with this little bracket piece, a little lever thingy. This is the piece you want to attach to the shield, and then you need to attach this portion, which has a specific shape here. Look at that. There's a specific shape which lines up with the hole on Optimus Prime's arm. So that way you could attach the shield on here just like so. See how it attaches perfectly on here. Then you can rotate the arm however you want, and you might want to put this guard back on, but in any case, there you go. There is his arm with the shield on, and the sword. If you want to attach the sword, I highly recommend you use a hair dryer to soften up the hand first, because these are really hard. No, these are soft plastic, but it's just so thick that it's harder to open this up for the sword to go in. So I highly recommend you heat up with hair dryer first. Okay, so once you heat up with the hair dryer, it should be a lot easier for the hand to go in. Oh, and this piece, the thumb can come off though. The thing is, they want the thumb to come off, so it's easier for you to attach the sword, but still, you would want to use a hair dryer. Soften up the fingers first before you do that, and then you could put this thumb back on here. Sorry, this is not on camera or anything, but try my best here. So there's the thumb. Now it's on, and you can see he's holding on to the sword. And now, since I heat up the hand here, should be easier for it to go in, since this is also heat up. So now I can just pop this in quite easily, see? And then again, remove the hand guard, put this back on here, on this hand here. So now you got Optimus Prime holding on to the sword and the shield. So yeah. And again, at the end of this video, I will have some photos showing different poses, and also the light up eyes. So yeah, be on the lookout for that at the end of this video. Alright, and lastly, I want to show you a comparison between the two Optimus Prime. And here we are. There's the Premium, of course, that's the much bigger one, and then there's the DLX. It's almost half the size. Yeah, it's literally almost half the size of that one, so yeah. Quite a difference between the two, and you could kind of see the chest on the big one looks a little darker, because I think just the way they sculpted, there's more layering to it, so it adds a little more darkness to the interior. It just makes it look a little better and not so silvery. And here you can see this one, the small one, it looks very silvery, right? You can see the chest is like all silver, almost all silver, but this one, it's broken up with some hollow sections and shadows and all that stuff, so gives it a little better looking chest, the torso, than the small one. But other than that, let's see, the blue is very similar. On camera it looks like they're the same, but in reality, I think the big one, it's a little bit more purpley than the small one. The small one is more metallic blue. It feels like it has a little bit more of a metallic blue to it, and the big one is more of a silvery blue. I mean, yeah, purpley blue to it. And then the silver also is a little more metallic on the smaller one. I think they use a different type of paint versus the big one. And yeah, overall I think they're both very similar design wise, but as far as posability, and one that you want to mess with would be the DLX. That one is just a little more fun to work with, and you don't feel like you're gonna break it that easily. With the big one, everything is just so plasticky that you worry that you're gonna break it. So yeah, if you own any 3A figures, then it's something similar to that scale, that nature. If you own any of the real steel stuff, it's very similar to that. But it is heavier than the real steel stuff. But yeah, similar as in the plastic. So yeah, so there you go. There's the DLX Optimus Prime from Threezero, and if you're on the fence, definitely get it. Yeah, if you already have it, you know how good it is. If you don't, then it might be something if you like this armor, then it might be something you might want to consider getting. So there you go. Thanks for watching, and don't forget photos at the end. Thanks for watching.